me ask you, this may be a little bit off topic, but since you brought up Peyton, this is something that within the past 3 years, those studies about concussions have really come to the forefront. And also statistics were revealed that, especially with football players, many football players died young. Knowing this, and I even saw a study that showed that even on practice fields, there were people suffering from concussions. How do you feel about knowing that men are out there doing this to themselves all the time? Is it enough to make the helmets safer, or should something else be done?
We discussed that right before the break. There was a big article in the Atlanta Constitution Journal, so I cut and pasted and made a presentation to the class. And I teach a lot of athletes, a lot of football players. And I just said, are you guys aware of the dangers of concussions? And they were like, Dr. P, no one has to tell you that getting hit could knock you out and cause damage. No one has to tell us that. We know the risk. And so being that you know the risk, you still do it anyway? And they said, yes, because we love the game. This is something we love to do. And I said, and then one young man commented, that's why some of us don't play. And so basically, after talking to the guys that actually play football, even on a college level, it's a choice that they make, and they said they do know the inherent risk. And even if you would tell them, if you go back on that field and you get hit one more time, it could knock you out or even kill you. Some of them said they would make the choice and go play.
Wow.
And so I'm thinking that probably it was stated to them that if you really love the game and that's what you're passionate about, like in the case of Peyton Manning,
right.
Stem cell on the shoulder, 2 fused vertebrae. Now, somebody else might say time to quit, but if you love the game and that's what you want to do, no matter what they say, you're going to do it.
Right.
And so I believe in personal choice, and so I think it's personal choice. I think maybe you can implore that it's, this is really serious. Do you really understand the consequences? And I think maybe they need some classes, some training to make better decisions and to make a more informed decision. But just in talking to the students that I teach, they would go out there anyway because that's what they love to do.
Okay. But you, personally, when you're thinking about Peyton Manning, you're thinking about people who, I heard about Earl Campbell, that he, relatively young man, he has to use canes wherever he goes. So you support those decisions to continue to play, but professionally? Yeah,
professionally I wouldn't do it, but that's the love of the game, and if they're willing to take the risks, who am I to stop them?
Okay. What use did you find of the library when you were doing your research, or perhaps when you were preparing for your doctorate? Was the library of help to you?
Oh, wow. I tell you what, the library was of help. The topic that I did my dissertation on, I was looking at motivational factors of academic achievement of athletes and non-athletes, and it was a study that wasn't quite done previously at the University of Northern Iowa, where I graduated, and so interlibrary loan became very valuable to me during my research, and just to get research from University of Florida. To get research from Minnesota. That was definitely a plus, the interlibrary loan. I said that was the most valuable tool to me during my research was interlibrary loan.
Good. If you were talking, now our audience is mainly the AUC community, so a lot of students are watching, and I'm thinking that a lot are interested in your position, what you do. What advice would you give them to reach the place that you're at now?
Well, number one, I would say make sure you're passionate about what you do. If you want to, get into the field of sport management or physical therapy or physical education, make sure you have a passion for what you do. Number two, learning is a continuous process. You have to keep educating yourself and stay updated on what's going on. Because being that, it was funny, as a physical education teacher, I tell my students, you're a physical education teacher. And so they think that, okay, physical education, that means physical therapy, that means athletic training. And so when you talk to parents, they actually talk to you like the joke you made. Well, I got this pain in my back. What do you think I do? And they expect you to have the answer because you're the physical education teacher. And you would say, but I'm not an athletic trainer. Yeah, but you're the phys ed teacher. Isn't that the same? And so people think that those fields are synonymous and that you should know. So it's important to keep up with your first aid, your safety, and, subscribe to magazines and journals. I subscribe to Personal Fitness, even though I'm not a trainer, but I still like to be updated on what's going on in the fitness realm or new exercises, the body ball, new ways to use the body ball, because people are going to ask you questions about that. Even though it's not your area, people are going to ask you questions.
Right.
And so just stay updated, and learning is a continuous process, and learn. And then number 3, just take your studies serious. Learn as much as you can. Make the best grade that you can, and just make sure you know what you need to know.
Right. And I guess, again, you've used the word passion before, that if you're passionate about what you're doing, it makes studying...
It makes studying a lot easier, and it's ingrained in you, and you'll always remember it.
Okay, good. What do you have coming up next? What's on your plate now?
Well, actually, another resource of the librarian is our reference librarian, Maud Mudavi, and she sends me emails on upcoming conferences. So I'm going to be presenting at a conference on Teaching Matters at Gordon College. And Teaching Matters 10 years later, ... And so we get to fill in the dot. And so basically it's a conference where, you just talk about what methods have worked for you. What do you think is important in teaching, in the teaching profession? So I'm looking forward to that. And so that I decided to use Coaching Winners, how to teach critical thinking.
Oh, okay.
And so I read this article called Coaching Winners, and it was by a woman named Duluth. And I really liked it. She had some good principles for teaching critical thinking. And being that I'm in phys ed and, sport management, I kind of like the title, Coaching Winners. It's like, oh, this is cool. And so after reading it, it's like, how to teach critical thinking. And so I've incorporated a few of those principles in my classes this semester. And I'm getting some good results.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you still involved in coaching at all?
No, I'm a fan. I just watch games. I'm from New Orleans, so I'm a Saints fan. A little disappointed in the Saints right now with the bounty program out. Yeah. But, football's a tough sport, but they're overcome. They overcome a lot.
I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm going to anyway. Who's winning the NCAA tournament this year? You know what? Even though Vanderbilt beat Kentucky, I still like Kentucky. Okay. Yeah, and sometimes I think a loss in the conference tournament may motivate you to not want to feel that way again. Right. And so I think that's going to propel them to win it all. The coach for that team commented and said that the SEC championship was a nuisance. Mm-hmm. So he might have had the same feeling that you did about that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Dr. Pedescleaux, thank you. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
It was wonderful having you here. Thank you so much, and thank you for presenting today as well.
All right, thank you. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you. Take care. All right, good.